Sira sat on the edge of her bed, staring out of the small window in her room. The stars twinkled in the night sky, but their beauty only deepened her loneliness. Once she had felt like a star herself, shining brightly among her people. Now she was an outcast, cast away to this desolate outpost. Everyone had turned their back on her, except for one David, a human who had come from a distant planet called Earth. David had arrived on the outpost as a mechanic, fixing ships and helping the settlers. He was different from everyone Sira had known. While others had abandoned her when she needed them most, David had stayed. He visited her daily, bringing stories, laughter, and a sense of hope that she hadn't felt in a long time. But now, even David had been busy. The outpost was in trouble. Pirates were threatening their peace, and everyone was on edge. Sira understood why David had to work late, but it only made her feel more alone. She missed their conversations, the way he made her laugh, and how he listened to her fears without judgment. Days turned into weeks, and the distance between them grew, even if David was still physically present. Sira felt trapped in her sadness, longing to reconnect with him. She thought about how to reach out, but every time she picked up her communicator, doubt filled her mind. What if he didn't want to talk? What if he had moved on? One evening, as she sat in her dimly lit room, Sira took a deep breath and decided she had to try. She picked up the communicator and sent a message to David. "Can we talk? I miss you." After hitting send, she felt a flutter of hope mixed with fear. Would he reply? Minutes felt like hours as she waited. Just as she was about to lose hope, her communicator beeped. It was David. "Of course, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Sira's heart raced. She quickly tidied up her room, trying to calm her nerves. When David arrived, he looked tired but smiled brightly at her. "Hey, Sira, it's good to see you." "Hi, David," she replied, trying to sound cheerful. But inside, she felt a whirlwind of emotions. "I've missed you. I've missed you, too." "Things have been crazy around here," he said, sitting down beside her. "How have you been holding up?" Sira hesitated, unsure of how to express her feelings. "It's been hard," she admitted. "I feel so distant from everyone, even you. I just didn't know how to reach out." David nodded, his expression softening. "I understand. But you don't have to go through this alone. I'm here for you." His words warmed her heart, and for the first time in weeks, she felt a spark of hope igniting within her. "I know you're here," Sira said, her voice trembling slightly. "But I feel like everyone else has forgotten me. I don't want to lose you too." "You won't lose me," he assured her, reaching out to take her hand. "We're in this together, okay? You're not alone. I care about you, Sira." His words washed over her like a gentle wave, easing the heaviness in her heart. They talked for hours, sharing their fears and dreams. Sira felt lighter with each passing moment. David listened intently, offering comfort and encouragement. As their conversation turned to the future, Sira felt a growing sense of determination. "I want to help the outpost," she said, her voice steady. "I want to show everyone that I'm still here, that I can make a difference." David smiled, his eyes shining with admiration. "That's the spirit. We can work together. You have so much to offer, Sira. Your knowledge of technology and strategy could really help us." Sira felt a surge of pride at his words. For they, first time in a long while, she believed in herself. They began brainstorming ideas to strengthen the outpost's defenses and rally the settlers. As the days passed, Sira and David became a team. They worked tirelessly, gaining the respect of the people around them. Slowly, Sira's confidence grew, and so did her bond with David. He was not just a friend. He was her anchor in this storm of uncertainty. One evening, after a long day of planning, they sat outside under the stars. Sira turned to David, feeling a warmth spreading in her chest. "Thank you for staying," she said softly. "You've made me feel like I belong again." David met her gaze, his expression serious yet kind. "You've always belonged, Sierra. You just needed to see it for yourself." In that moment, Sierra realized how much David meant to her. She felt a flutter of something deeper, a desire to share her life with him forever. She took a deep breath, her heart racing. "David, I want to ask you something." He looked at her, curiosity in his eyes. "What is it?" Sierra hesitated, but her heart urged her on. "Will you marry me?" David's eyes widened in surprise, and for a moment, time stood still. Then a broad smile spread across his face. "Yes, yes, of course, I will." Joy erupted in Sierra's heart, and she felt a rush of happiness. They embraced under the stars, surrounded by the vastness of the universe. She had gone from feeling abandoned and alone to being filled with hope and love. In that moment, she understood that even when everyone else had turned away, David had stayed. Together, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead, proving that love and friendship could conquer even the darkest of times. And so, in a galaxy where trust was scarce, Sierra and David found their way back to each other, transforming their loneliness into a future filled with hope. Asterisk after Sierra and David had embraced under the stars, a new chapter began in their lives. The excitement of their engagement filled Sierra with joy, yet she still felt the shadows of her past lingering. The outpost was still fragile, and she knew they had to work hard to protect it. But now, she had someone by her side who believed. In her as the days turned into weeks, Sierra and David dove into their plans for the outpost. They held meetings with the settlers, discussing strategies to improve the defenses and create a sense of community. Sierra felt invigorated, her heart swelling with purpose. Yet, even amidst the bustling activity, she couldn't shake the feeling of distance that sometimes crept back in. One afternoon, as Sierra sat with David in the small makeshift office they had set up, she noticed a change in him. He seemed distracted, his mind elsewhere. She reached across the table, placing her hand on his. "David, are you okay? You seem a little distant." He looked up, forcing a smile. "I'm fine, Sierra. Just thinking about everything we need to do." But Sierra could see the worry in his eyes. She knew that he was feeling the weight of the outpost's troubles, and her own struggles. As the weeks passed, that distance grew. David was often busy with repairs and meetings, while Sierra focused on rallying the settlers. They would share meals and moments, but Sierra could sense that their deep connection was fading. It made her heart ache. One evening, Sierra sat alone in their office, staring at the communication screen. She wanted to reach out to David, to pull him back into their shared world, but fear gripped her. What if he felt overwhelmed? What if he needed space? She didn't want to burden him with her feelings. Taking a deep breath, she decided to send him a message. "Can we talk? I feel like we're drifting apart." With a shaky hand, she hit send and waited, anxiety twisting in her stomach. Minutes passed, feeling like hours. Just as she was about to give up hope, her communicator beeped. It was David. "Of course. I'll be there soon." When he arrived, Sierra could see the fatigue in his eyes, but he smiled warmly at her. "Hey, Sierra, what's on your mind?" "I just wanted to talk about how things have been," she began, her voice trembling slightly. "I feel like we've been so busy that we haven't had time for each other." "I miss us." David nodded, his expression softening. "I miss us too. I've been so focused on the repairs and the pirates. It's hard to keep everything balanced." Sierra felt a wave of relief wash over her. "I understand, but I don't want to lose what we have. I want to support you, but I also need you to be here with me." He reached for her hand, squeezing it gently. "You're right. We need to find a way to reconnect. I care about you, Sierra, and I don't want to lose you either." They spent the rest of the evening talking openly about their fears and the challenges they faced. Sira shared her worries about the outpost and how she felt lost without their shared moments. David listened, nodding as she spoke, his eyes filled with understanding. "I've been feeling overwhelmed, too," he admitted. "Sometimes I forget that we're a team. I need to remember that we can lean on each other." Sira smiled, feeling a spark of hope reignite in her heart. "Let's make some time for ourselves. We can't let the pressures of the outpost take away our connection." David's face brightened. "Absolutely. How about we plan a day just for us? No work, no meetings, just time to be together." "Really? That would be amazing," Sira exclaimed, her excitement bubbling over. They began brainstorming ideas for their day together, laughing as they recalled their favorite activities. The next morning, they set out on their planned adventure. Sira had found a beautiful spot near a small lake just outside the outpost. The water sparkled in the sunlight, and the trees swayed gently in the breeze. It felt like a hidden paradise, a world away from their worries. As they settled on a blanket by the lake, Sira felt lighter than she had in weeks. They talked, laughed, and shared stories about their lives before the outpost, remembering the things that had brought them together in the first place. "Do you remember the first day we met?" David asked, grinning. "You were so serious, and I was just trying to fix that shuttle." Sira chuckled, recalling how he had accidentally dropped a tool, making a loud noise. "I thought you were going to blow something." After their wonderful day by the lake, Sira felt a renewed sense of hope and purpose. The laughter and connection she shared with David had brightened her spirit, and she was determined to keep that feeling alive. They were a team, and together they could face any challenge that came their way. As the weeks passed, Sira and David continued to work hard on their plans for the outpost. They organized meetings with the settlers, inviting everyone to share ideas about improving their defenses and creating a stronger community. Sira felt empowered, but the weight of responsibility sometimes made her anxious. She wanted to make a difference, but doubts crept in when she thought about the future. One evening, as they sat in their office, Sira noticed David staring at the screen, deep in thought. She could see the tension in his shoulders, and it worried her. "David, what's wrong?" she asked gently. He sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I'm just thinking about the pirates. We need to come up with a solid plan to defend the outpost." "I don't want anyone to get hurt," Sira nodded, understanding his concern. "I know it's stressful, but we can do this together. We've made so much progress already." He smiled faintly, but still looked troubled. "You're right. I just wish I could do more." Sira took his hand, squeezing it tightly. "You're doing everything you can. We all are. Just remember, we're in this together. We can lean on each other." David looked into her eyes, and she could see the gratitude there. "Thank you, Sira. It means a lot to have you by my side." As they continued to work on their plans, Sira felt a sense of pride. They had gained the respect of the settlers, and many were eager to help. Yet she still sensed that David was carrying a heavy burden. She wanted to help him lighten that load, but she didn't know how. The next day, Sira decided to surprise David. She gathered some of their friends from the outpost to plan a small celebration. They would have a gathering to show everyone that they were united and strong, despite the challenges they faced. Sira hoped it would lift David's spirits and remind him that they were not alone. As evening approached, Sira and her friends set up decorations outside their office. Colorful lights hung from the trees, and a table was filled with food and drinks. Sira felt excitement bubbling inside her. She wanted David to see how much everyone appreciated his hard work. When David arrived, his eyes widened in surprise. "What's all this?" Sira beamed at him. "It's a celebration." We wanted to thank you for everything you've done to keep us safe and bring us together." David looked around, touched by the gesture. The settlers were smiling, and laughter filled the air. "I can't believe you did all this," he said, his voice warm with appreciation. As the night unfolded, Sira watched as David relaxed, his worries fading with each smile and laugh shared among the settlers. They played games, shared stories, and enjoyed each other's company. Sira felt her heart swell with happiness, knowing she had helped create this moment of joy. As the stars twinkled above, David pulled Sira aside, looking serious again. "Thank you for this. I didn't realize how much I needed it." Sira smiled softly. "We all need moments like this. It reminds us that we're a community and that we can get through anything together." "But I need you to know," David said, his voice earnest, "that I don't want to be the only one holding the weight. You're a leader too, Sira. Your ideas are just as important as mine, and I want to hear them." Sira felt a warmth spread through her. "Thank you, David. I want to contribute more, but sometimes I feel unsure." "Don't ever doubt yourself," he said firmly. "You've already made such a difference here. You inspire people. You inspire me." With those words, Sira felt a surge of determination. She realized that she could be the leader they needed, someone who could inspire hope, even in the darkest times. Together, they would show the settlers that they were strong enough to face anything. The next day, Sira gathered the settlers to discuss their plans for the outpost. She stood before them, her heart pounding but her voice steady. "Thank you, all, for being here. We have faced many challenges, but we are not alone. David and I believe that by working together, we can create a safe and thriving community." The settlers nodded, their faces filled with encouragement. Sira continued, sharing her ideas for strengthening their defenses and building unity among them. She felt the energy in the room shift as they began to discuss and share their thoughts. After the meeting, David approached her, a proud smile on his face. "You were amazing. I knew you could do it. Thank you." "I couldn't have done it without your support," Sira replied, her heart swelling with gratitude. As the days went by, Sira and David worked closely together, planning and executing their ideas with the help of the settlers. They organized training sessions, teaching everyone how to defend themselves and their home. Sira felt empowered, and the distance that had once crept in between her and David began to fade away. One evening, as they wrapped up another successful training session, David turned to Sira. "I've been thinking, we should celebrate our progress again. Maybe a big event to show everyone how far we've come?" Sira's eyes sparkled with excitement. "That's a great idea. We can invite everyone from the surrounding areas too. It will help build our alliances and show that we're strong." Together, David nodded enthusiastically. "Let's do it. We can make it a festival, a day of fun and unity." As they planned the festival, Sira felt a sense of hope and joy. They were building not just a stronger outpost, but also a deeper bond between them. With each shared laugh and strategy session, she felt their connection grow stronger. On the day of the festival, the outpost was filled with energy and excitement. Colorful banners hung everywhere, and the smell of delicious food wafted through the air. People gathered, smiling and chatting, and Sira felt a warmth in her heart. As the sun began to set, Sira and David stood together, watching the festivities unfold. "We did this," David said, his voice filled with wonder. "Look at how far we've come." Sira smiled, her heart full. "It wouldn't have been possible without you. You believed in me, even when I didn't believe in myself." David looked into her eyes, his expression serious. "You are stronger than you realize, Sira. Together, we can face anything." In that moment, Sira knew they were ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. They had built a community, strengthened their bond, and inspired hope in each other, and those around them. As the stars twinkled above once more, Sira felt a sense of belonging. She wasn't just an outcast anymore. She was a leader, a partner, and someone who could bring light to the darkest places. Turning to David, she took a deep breath. "You've shown me that I can rise above my fears. I want to build our future together, no matter what comes next." David smiled, his eyes bright. "And I'll be right here with you." In that moment, Sira knew that she had found her place, her purpose, and the love that would guide her forward. Together, they would face whatever challenges came their way, proving that hope and determination could conquer even the darkest of times. And so, as the festival continued around them, Sira felt a deep sense of joy and belonging. She had come so far, and with David by her side, she was ready to embrace the future. Asterisk, hash, 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 asterisk, asterisk. Everyone abandoned her. Only the human stayed. Then she asked, "Will you marry me?" Part 4. Asterisk, asterisk. As the festival wound down and the last lights flickered in the night, Sira felt a sense of fulfillment wash over her. The outpost was alive with laughter and joy, but inside her heart she felt a small twinge of sadness. The connection she had found with David was stronger than ever, yet a part of her still felt distant from him, as if something was keeping them apart. The days following the festival were busy. Sira and David continued to work hard on their plans for the outpost, but the pressure of their responsibilities weighed heavily on them. David was often caught up in repairs and meetings, while Sira focused on rallying the settlers. Even when they were together, Sira sometimes felt a wall between them, built of unspoken worries and fears. One evening, as they sat together in their office, Sira noticed David staring at the wall, lost in thought. She reached out and touched his hand. "David, what's on your mind?" He looked at her, his eyes filled with concern. "I've been thinking about the pirates again. They're still a threat, and I want to make sure we're ready if they come back." Sira nodded, understanding his worries. "We can't let fear take over. We've built a strong community, and we need to trust in each other." David smiled, faintly, but still seemed troubled. "I know, but I also don't want to put anyone in danger. I just wish I could do more." Sira felt a wave of sympathy for him. She wanted to reach out, to bridge that gap, but she didn't know how. The fear of losing him again loomed in her mind. What if we work together on a plan to strengthen our defenses? We can gather ideas from the settlers and find solutions together. David's expression brightened a bit. "That's a great idea. Let's involve everyone in this. We can hold a meeting tomorrow and brainstorm." The next day, they organized a meeting with the settlers. Sira spoke passionately about the importance of unity and preparation. "We've come so far, and we must be ready to protect our home. Together, we can make a solid plan to keep everyone safe." As ideas flowed and the settlers engaged in discussions, Sira felt a sense of hope rising within her. The community was coming together, and David was right there by her side, encouraging everyone to participate. After the meeting, Sira felt, with the outpost thriving under the leadership of Sira and David, a new sense of hope filled the air. The settlers had come together like never before, united in their mission to protect their home. Yet even with this newfound strength, Sira still felt a small distance between her and David. It was a nagging feeling that she couldn't shake, like an unspoken worry hovering just out of reach. As the days passed, Sira noticed that David was often preoccupied. He would smile and laugh during their meetings, but at night, when they were alone, she could see the weight of his thoughts clouding his eyes. She wanted to bridge that gap, to reconnect on a deeper level, but she didn't know how to reach him. One evening, after a long day of training sessions, Sira sat on the steps outside their office, watching the sun set over the horizon. The sky was painted with hues of orange and pink, but the beauty felt distant. She felt alone in her thoughts. Wishing she could understand what was happening in David's heart, David stepped outside, interrupting her thoughts. "Hey, Sierra, I was looking." "For you," he said, sitting beside her. "What's on your mind?" Sierra hesitated, unsure of how to voice her feelings. "I've been thinking about us, about everything we've built together." David nodded, his gaze fixed on the horizon. "It has been incredible to see everyone come together. I'm proud of what we've accomplished." "I am too," Sierra replied, her heart racing. "But I feel like we're not as close as we used to be. I want to reconnect with you, David." He turned to her, surprise flickering in his eyes. "I didn't realize you felt that way. I'm sorry if I've been distant. I've just been focused on keeping everyone safe." "I understand," Sierra said softly, her voice steady. "But I don't want to lose what we have. I miss our moments together, the laughter, the plans. I want to share everything with you, not just the work." David looked at her, his expression shifting from surprise to understanding. "I've been so caught up in my worries that I didn't notice how it affected us. I'm sorry, Sierra. I don't want to push you away." Sierra reached out, taking his hand. "We're in this together, remember? We can help each other through the tough times." David squeezed her hand, a smile breaking through his previous tension. "You're right. I've been so focused on the dangers outside that I forgot about the importance of our connection." Feeling a surge of hope, Sierra suggested, "How about we plan a day just for us? We can step away from everything and enjoy some time together, like we used to." "I'd love that," David replied, his eyes lighting up. "Let's make it happen." The next day, Sierra and David planned their special day. They decided to explore a nearby forest that was known for its beauty and tranquility. Sierra felt excitement bubbling inside her as they prepared for the adventure. She wanted to remind David of the joy they could find in the world, even amidst their responsibilities. As they hiked through the forest, the tall trees swayed gently in the breeze. Sunlight filtered through the leaves, creating a warm and inviting atmosphere. Sierra felt the tension melting away as they walked side by side, talking and laughing like they used to. "I can't believe we haven't explored this place before," David said, glancing around in wonder. "It's beautiful." "It really is," Sierra agreed, her heart swelling with joy. "I wanted to remind you that there's still beauty in the world, even when things feel heavy." They found a clearing with a small stream running through it. The sound of the water was soothing, and Sierra suggested they take a break. They sat on the grass, enjoying the peaceful surroundings. "I've missed this," David said, leaning back on his hands. "Just being together, without all the pressure." "Me too," Sierra replied, her voice soft. "I want to make sure we always have time for each other, no matter how busy things get." David turned to her, his eyes serious. "You're right. You mean so much to me, Sierra. I don't want to take our relationship for granted." Sierra felt her heart race at his words. "I care about you deeply, David. You've been my rock through everything. I want to build a future together." David smiled, his expression brightening. "I want that too. Sometimes I get so caught up in my fears that I forget to express how much you mean to me." As they talked, Sierra felt the distance between them fade away. They shared their hopes and dreams, not just for the outpost, but for their lives together. They talked about building a safe community and creating a home filled with love and laughter. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple, David took Sierra's hand. "I want to promise you something," he said, his voice steady. "I'll always be here for you. Whatever challenges we face, we'll face them together." Tears of joy filled Sierra's eyes. "Thank you, David. That means the world to me. I want to be your partner in everything." In that moment, surrounded by the beauty of nature, Sierra felt a renewed sense of hope. They were no longer just two people trying to survive. They were a united force, ready to take on the world together. As they made their way back to the outpost, Sierra felt lighter than she had in weeks. The worries that had once burdened her seemed smaller now, overshadowed by the strength of their connection. She realized that love and partnership could conquer any challenge, and together they could create a safe and happy home. That night, as they settled into their routine, Sierra felt a sense of peace. She and David had reconnected on a deeper level, and she knew that their bond was stronger than ever. No matter what lay ahead, they would face it hand in hand. As she lay in bed, Sierra thought about the future. She felt excited and hopeful, knowing that they could build a life together filled with love, laughter, and purpose. The distance that had once seemed so daunting had been replaced by a powerful connection. With David by her side, Sierra was ready to embrace whatever challenges awaited them. They were a team, and together they would shine brighter than any star in the sky. In a world where uncertainty loomed, their love would be a beacon of hope, guiding them forward into a bright future. The days following their day in the forest felt like a breath of fresh air for Sierra and David. They had reconnected in a way that filled Sierra with joy and hope. Yet, even as their bond grew stronger, Sierra noticed an underlying tension in David. She couldn't quite put her finger on it. Although they were working well together and supporting the outpost, it seemed like something was still bothering him. One evening, after another long day of planning and training, Sierra sat on the steps of their office, watching the stars twinkle above. The night sky was beautiful, but she felt a sense of longing. She wished they could share this moment together without any worries. David came out, a tired look on his face. "Hey, Sierra, what are you thinking about?" Sierra smiled, but her heart felt heavy. "Just enjoying the stars. They remind me of how far we've come, but I can't shake the feeling that something is still bothering you." He sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I'm just worried about the pirates. They haven't shown up again, but it feels like they could strike at any moment. I want to make sure everyone is safe." Sierra nodded, understanding his concern. "I know it's hard, but we've prepared. We've trained everyone, and the community is stronger than ever. You've done an incredible job, David." "I appreciate that, Sierra," he replied, but his voice still held a note of worry. "But I can't help but feel responsible for everyone's safety. What if something goes wrong?" Feeling a rush of determination, Sierra took his hand. "You're not alone in this. We're a team, and we have each other's backs. Let's focus on what we can control and trust that we're ready." David looked into her eyes, and for a moment the tension seemed to lift. "You're right. I just need to remember that." As they sat together, Sierra felt a spark of inspiration. "Why don't we hold a community night? We can share stories, celebrate our victories, and remind everyone that we're united. It will help boost everyone's spirits and reassure them." David smiled, his eyes brightening. "That's a great idea. It will remind everyone that we're not just surviving. We're thriving together." They spent the next few days preparing for the community night. Sierra organized activities, and David arranged for food and decorations. Their excitement was contagious, and the settlers began to rally around the idea. On the night of the event, the outpost was filled with laughter and joy. Colorful lights hung from the trees, and tables were set up with delicious food. Sierra felt a sense of pride as she watched everyone come together, enjoying each other's company. As the evening progressed, Sierra took a moment to step back and observe. People were sharing stories, laughing, and playing games. It was a celebration of their resilience, and Sierra felt her heart swell with happiness. This was what they had fought for, a community that stood strong together. David joined her, a proud smile on his face. "Look at everyone. This is amazing." "It really is. Sierra replied, feeling a rush of warmth. I'm so glad we did. This. As the night went on, Sierra took the stage to share her thoughts. Thank you all for coming tonight. We've been through so much together, and it's wonderful to see our community come alive like this. Let's keep supporting each other and remember that we are stronger together. The crowd cheered, and Sierra felt a wave of encouragement wash over her. But as she looked at David, she noticed a flicker of concern cross his face again. She wanted to reach out, to reassure him that everything would be okay, but she D***.